All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another The New Era. Sorry, I had to think of a bit there. Exciting news. Actually, I don't even know what I'm. Oh, yeah. Well, a couple things. As far as this world's concerned, I did add. Well, I also added a tunnel because I fell down in the snow and I started to dig out just like 2 units at the bottom of every one of that. But I installed a water elevator. Oh, oh, I might have to figure this out. Oh man, this is so. Oh, that's the down one. Okay. Thread the needle. Thread the needle. There we go. Jeez. All right. So the start of the memorial. So it's way up here in the snow and that, and you can see for far away. Can't quite see the cherry blossoms. Hmm. You can see the Illager outpost though, and it is taller than that. I don't know. I'm still torn between like adding stuff above ground or just staying below ground. I do need to extend that a little bit because that's kind of dangerous. If I forget and I start to, swerve that way. In fact, let's just go ahead and fix that. See? There we go. Oops. All right, and while we're doing this, so I had to look up Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. Now, like, and they do a skit on Futurama. They have a part on Futurama where the brain episode where they have the brain exploring famous books and whatnot. And one of them's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. I think from what I'm reading on the Wikipedia for both of the books, because there's a book called The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. And it's weird because even the Wikipedia page said it was published in the UK in 1880. And then the other one, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, says it was written in like 1876. I don't know. So, I mean, I'm guessing they are both pretty close, but it sounds like they're like a series. And I grew up reading one of them, and I'm thinking the first one because even just reading the summary for The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, apparently the second one, I think, it sounds very dark. Like, I mean, dealing with an abusive alcoholic father, and I don't know. That's something else I wanted to talk about. Is just like the thinking of. Actually, maybe I should even extend this more. I don't know, like that. Oh, 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 oh. That's gonna cause a mess. All right, and then if we did that here as well. There. Anyways. Ugh. So the point of it is to have somebody else paint the fence. And basically, I've been telling a lot of people about the idea of online voting and kind of like rubber ducking with everybody, like without even asking them or telling them what I'm doing, just like blurting it out to random people, like not in the streets, like not like that. I'm not that weird, but like on social medias and stuff. And I just did it to Anonymous. So and I had to read a little bit about them and all that. And like, I mean, so and for those that don't know, Anonymous is like a hacker group of what we'd consider hacktivists. Um, and I did sign a white hat manifesto to kind of not necessarily hunt people like that, but to protect against all types of hacking. But I mean, I definitely support most of what, well, probably all, but like I just like to not speak in absolutes. Like, as from what I've seen, I support everything that Anonymous has done. They like to expose people for like breaking the law. Usually like more heinous crimes, like, assaulting a child or something. Or like, I think there was one where there was like this situation of, assault on I think it was like high schooler to high schooler, but still doesn't make it any less traumatic. Like it's an assault. So, sexual assault. Sorry, I'm trying to like keep it PG while at the same time. Well, if you know, you know. But anyways, I told them about the idea of online voting and my idea of why, or like basically starting off be like, I don't know why it isn't a thing, and then at the end I'm like, but from a behavioral and psychological standpoint, I can understand people not wanting the gov to know who they voted for, and that's true. Like, I mean, you're potentially in a database for everyone you voted for in your entire life, and I get that it sounds like that 1980 like conspiracy theory book about how the government can control everything. Well, they're already there. If there's a crime committed, and see, that's the thing. That's why it's not as scary as just that. Because if you look at it at a macro level, we now have total accountability to where people cannot get away with killing each other. They cannot get away with assaulting each other. They cannot stealing too, which should not be a thing. But we should start, at the very top. No more stealing from, we got to make it right economically. Like affordable housing shouldn't have to be like a something that we champion for. That should just be a given. Like it's like, wait, you don't have a nice place to live, or you're going through all this nonsense? I mean, and I think a lot of that will go far as like getting rid of alcohol. So back to the Tom or Huckleberry Finn adventures. Here, we'll just chop some wood. And I love mundane tasks. I think painting a fence would actually be pretty fun, but like that's me. And I also know that I did try to install a fence with a bunch of friends, and we were really sober, and it went up and down and up and down. It was horrible. They had to redo the whole thing. So, you got to also take it seriously. If it's work or it depends on how you want to do it. But, anyways, but this idea, so I told Anonymous my idea after reading through a few of their posts, and this is on X out. And so now they know. I mean, if they see my response, which it should be, it wasn't just like to their main post, which I was thinking about doing, but then they were talking about how they wanted a country run, better, or like a better ran country. And I was like, oh, this is even better than just like commenting on their main thing, like because their pinned post. That's what I was originally going to do in hopes that they'd see it in the hundreds of, comments. Whereas I found where they responded to somebody and it was just a two comment, like the depth was, it was more than just the surface level. So, I mean, it had a greater chance of being seen. I mean, it's going to be seen either way. And like, apparently it sounds like there's multiple admins that monitor that account. My face is very plastered on that. And I'm like, my name and everything. I mean, I might change it too, but I've already paid for this one. And originally I set out for that account to be, helping educate people. And I am still working on educational projects very slowly. I want to do basically K through 12, just as like a fun project too. This isn't like teachers aren't good enough, they need replacing. Just like additional materials or additional like gamified solutions to helping to reinforce learning or even create the learning if it's absent. So like, and I'm going off of the Colorado public standards of what school needs to be. There's a public school. See, I don't know what it's called offhand, and I always got to look for like the message from one of my relatives. Talk. I mean, you can search it on Google, and it's like the standards. But I also have a message because before I did a Google search, I know, shocking, an IT technician that doesn't do a Google search for. Yeah, I tried to just think. I was like, huh, how would I find this information? I had to let me Google that for you for myself. Anyways, so yeah, I Tom Sawyer. See, that's the thing. Now that I know that Tom Sawyer is most likely, see, I got to go back and reread these because I got sucked into like the dates, times. So we're in the 1800s, and one's a very dark story of an alcoholic, abusive father that steals the riches. And this is all just a summary, so this isn't really spoilers. I mean, okay, I guess spoilers for if you were looking forward to Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn. I mean, I know they're good stories. Like, we read Mark Twain in high school. I want to say maybe even middle school. No, middle school is more like still vocabulary and grammar. But yeah, high school we started reading a bunch of books. Like also the most dangerous game where the dude hunts another human because he's so rich and eccentric, and he's just like, I have already felt everything there is to feel, so I want to hunt a human. That's the basic, for you if you didn't get that. That's underlying what they're thinking. That's their inner voice. Not really, of course they're not saying it like that, but that's the idea. And there's also rumors that like the royal family like hunted people and stuff too, and it's like, it may be. I mean, if medieval times are any like indication, like all the torture and stuff that was going on and the wars, religious warfare, it's still bad. But like, well, actually, I don't see. That's could be false and misleading information, and I don't intend to do that. I don't know anything about the statistics of that. So like that Fun with Dick and Jane. I'd have to see the statistics when he's like catching the heat for all the. Anyways, that's more spoilers than the Mark Twain thing. But so yeah, like I said, my views align pretty much with Anonymous. Although I need to make it known that I'm not Anonymous. I'm doing the Tiki Talkies just as an experiment. I've got a bunch of Guy Fawkes masks, and I knew I was gonna need to do that. Like, make one of the videos like not part of Anonymous, because that's like stolen valor the other way. Like, I haven't done a thing for exposing wrongdoers, like basically being the Robin Hood, only instead of Fortune, which actually still that kind of ties into it, like keeping people accountable. I mean, there's ways to do it in legal channels now, mostly. So, I mean, like, because as much as I like what they do, I'm not about to try to break into someone else's computer for any reason because I just know, well, A, I'm being watched because I've been taught how to do that sort of thing. But B, I don't want in there. I don't want the hassle. I don't want to have to hide. I don't, it's so stressful thinking about, like, what if I get caught? And I'm talking about 2 points: concealing your actual activity on the compromised system and your life. Like being paranoid. See, I'm good. The cops know well about me. They know I haven't done anything. Like, they know I'm nice and boring, and I wouldn't be surprised if they checked up every now and then. Although, after reading some of the recent arrest records or the numbers from FOCO, I don't think they have time. Like, no bandwidth. I mean, they might have a couple detectives be like, all right, let's do the usual suspects. Okay, not active, good, done. You can almost do AI to keep track of that. Like, and I'm sure they do, actually, now that I say that. Oh, now that's scary. You want to talk about some 1980s stuff? Having an AI that can research a whole database of like all the different people that just interactions with law enforcement because they document everything. They have to write up a report. They have to cover their own selves, like, because people love to sue. People love to, I mean, and understandable to a point because it is a hard situation. Like, it's stressful even talking to cops and like, and if you don't feel completely evergreen, happy, go lucky, like, like you're not in any trouble, you could still be all shaky. I mean, I've been pulled over several times, and like, I've had many very positive interactions with law enforcement because I'm not afraid of them. I'm just like, you know what, like, I think about how bad can this get? What if they search my car? Okay, it's fine. Like, they're not going to find anything. Okay, what if they search me? Okay, good. That's like, especially in the age of starting to, figure out what drinking is. And again, this is high school, like near the end of it. Thankfully I was decent most of the way, but um, yeah, kids will be kids. They need to figure it out. And like, especially for restricted, like, I don't know. I feel like some of the worst stories come from people that were very sheltered when they were in high school, and then they get to college and they just go buck wild, and they're just like, and all of that good that their parents tried to do just backfires on them because they don't know how to handle themselves after a couple of drinks. And I'm not saying drinking is cool. I mean, everybody should at least experience it just so they know what it is. But, and I definitely had my fun with it. But I mean, it got real dark real quick for me. So, and then persisted for like 10, 15 years. uh, I mean, no, there's a lot of fun times too. I can't say that. But anyways, back to the Tom Sawyer thing. So, yeah, that's the idea. I mean, Anonymous might paint some of this fence. I'll keep trying to paint some of this fence. I'm basically, at this point, I'm trying to be a leader that also collaborates with other leaders to try to lead in positive directions for global change in government and basically everything, society. Like, I've been talking to Chinese government officials again indirectly through it, not a lot, and not doing anything embarrassing. Like, if the government saw what I said, they might be a little worried that I'm trying to give them advice on how to run an online election, but at the same time, I feel like they would see the underlying mission of like peace and cooperation. Because like, it's like that put up or shut up. Because I basically also asked them to paint the white fence, and if they do it better than us, then they'll get to a better system of government faster, and then we'll basically be in an election race, maybe before this next one. I'm kidding. There's no way they could roll out such a system. But at the same time, if we had an army of IT technicians that would volunteer, like myself, to sit in a chat room, sit in a Zoom, sit in a Google Meet, sit in a Twitch, sit in a YouTube, whatever. I mean, I used to do it with Twitch, but only I was trying to like, I wasn't teaching so much. If anything, I was being taught because a lot of the people that were watching my streams were better coders. Like, they were better on coding game. They were like flexing their own stuff, which was great. And I think I want to get back into it for that. but I need to change my name to A-Rye. See, that's why I haven't been streaming on Twitch. Like, it's just as lame as that. Like, I thought about getting back into it, and also, I don't know. Like, it would have to be coding and stuff, because I don't like... it's so hard to be a notable gamer. I mean, like, Anthony Wright's code does it, but he does a lot of Python stuff. Like, he's like a big wig in Python. Oh, in fact, I have some bits. I should see. I try to just dump them to Anthony, or there's a couple other, like, not old school coder. He's good, but, like, I don't really... I'm sorry, I'm feeling that. ODAT Nerd is a really good one. I've dropped some bits to him, and I just get bits whenever I do the research stuff. So, like, I mean, once I'm financially stable enough, I'll be buying some bits. But for now, whew, I need to focus. I got chillins. Anyways, so I'm Tom Sawyering the world, basically, trying to see who can race to build this online voting system the fastest. A little bit of spoilers, though. It's not going to be me. Yeah, that's okay. And the reason I say that is because I don't quite trust myself with web security to actually build a web server, let alone a web server that every single American would have to log into. And granted, it would be a replicated system for every state at least, if not a different server for every county, depending on how big the county is. And that's why, like, that anonymity still is kind of a thing. And then you also got to think about, like, international votes. Although that'd also be more secure than trying to fly a bunch of paper ballots from, there's a lot of contact points that would have to be monitored. Whereas if we could just do it from our couch, and have a team of IT admins just watching it, and like, oh, okay, it's going good, or oh no, it's not going good, and here's why. I don't know. I honestly think, like, the only real big hole in it is the anonymity. It's such a hard word. But if people are worried about their government knowing who they cast their vote for, that could be seen as... But honestly, like, do you really care? Like, could you just opt in and just be like, I don't care if the government knows who I voted for. Like, maybe don't let the president ever see that. I don't know. Is that the whole thing? I think that's the whole thing. That's like a giant elephant in the room. Ah, good Lord. Well, let's see what Anonymous says. Because, I mean, I threw out from a psychological and behavioral standpoint. Oh. I mean, I'm punching them the ball. They can take it the rest of the way. I'm passing them the baton. There you go. I'm hoping they'll take it the rest of the way. Also, how do I want to do this? First, how do I make this even safer? I want to say, like, make it wider. Oh, you know how much work that's going to be to... I need to find the... All right, I know what I need to do. Let's go on a mission to go find some seaweed. And also, I'm trying to think, do we have... We don't even really have compost. We need that and that, and I don't think I'm gonna build the whole thing right now. It's just I mean, I have grass, but I don't think that works. Let's see, that. Actually, no, let's save the flowers. Where'd the other one go? There. Wheat. Okay. Jeez, I need to automate this real bad. In fact, do I have iron? Can I do that real quick? Nah. You need about 10, I think, because you got to make 2 hoppers at least. Anyways, let's go on a mission, go find some grass. Let's get a boat. Do we have a boat? Let's just make a boat. I know there's one in there somewhere, but this works too. Let's drop off some stuff. Oops. Actually, wait. That. Oh, man. Because also, in case I ever want to, like, post up somewhere and we can drop off this. And with that, I could build basically anything else. I got tools, wood, stuff like that. Okay. Basically, I'm just gonna make four more soul sands to launch that up, and then we'll have like a plus sign worth of water elevator. So, anyways, yeah, and Huckleberry Finning or Tom Sawyer. Now, Huckleberry Finn, that sounds a lot darker, like I said, because there's a bunch of money that's made in the first book, and then the abusive alcoholic father tries to take it. And it's really not the father to blame. The key word in that is alcoholic. So, the two main factors of that behavior, see, anybody is capable of that behavior, and anybody is capable of not exhibiting that behavior. So, the two factors, the biggest ones, are economic and alcohol. Like, that's it. Like, I mean, how easy is the American dream for you? And are you a drinker? Because alcohol is a depressant, and so no matter how you use it, even just having a little bit, you're gonna feel a little depressed. Like, it's gonna bring a little sadness, and that's kind of part of it. It's like that kind of like slightly emo, like cutter-ish, and that's part of the rush of cutting too. Is like, just like not to like actually like kill yourself, but to like feel pain, to get emotion, to feel something, or you're like, and that oftentimes is there's underlying trauma. And I'm not a professional of that either. I just had experience with some therapy and some rehab and some stuff and some mental facilities. So I understand quite a bit of, oh wow, that's pretty deep. Ooh. And you can see farther when you're not underwater. But that's not what we want. So basically, we're looking for, we might have to go out to, I really need to move that a little closer. Okay. How many shovels do I have? None. That's okay. I mean, I could build another, but probably just dig as needed in the time that it would take to build one with my hand, or literally anything. So, yeah, I don't know. And I hate to say it, like, because Islamic countries like Saudi Arabia is still banning alcohol, I think, but yet the diplomats can drink it when they're abroad, so they can experience the local culture and whatnot. And then they're coming back and saying, I don't know why we do this. Why do we do this? And that's why things are kind of slowly changing over there. Like Dubai specifically, 8 years ago versus 2 years ago, or no, not even 2 years, 1 year ago. So I saw Dubai a year ago, and it was just like downtown Denver, downtown Fort Collins, like you know without so much crime. It was actually pretty clean, but at the same time, there was just a lot, and it was New Year's Eve too, so I saw it like at its finest. But like people from all over came to drink, party, throw down. Like there was wild craziness. There was some dude with a tambourine just going crazy. Like there was a couple of ladies like hanging from like scarves from the, or what are those, ribbon dancing. There was a couple of hip hop people. It was like three dancers and one performer, like the DJ, but also dancers, and it was great. And part of the bar had a water slide from the second story. People were going down a water slide, I think in their full clothes and everything. I don't know. There were definitely people swimming. And there was actually, go check out Dubai if you ever get a chance. But no, and a lot of people are like, what, really? But no, I think that things are going to get a lot easier for intercultural relations the more we all kind of assimilate to each other, because America's changing as well. Like we're kind of like, if you like push down on something when it's floating and it bounces back up because of the buoyancy, and then it bobs for a little bit, like sinks and then comes back. I feel like that's what civilization's like. I mean, like we had prohibition, then we had gangsters and mafia, and then it was just like, it was just too much too quick. And now we're gradually rolling things out, like legalizing cannabis gradually, state by state. Like it's still not legal, I think, in Idaho and one other state. But like, and then mushrooms. I mean, I'm not telling everybody to go out and just do these things, but for the needs to fit the purpose, like if there is trauma or any kind of abuse or whatever, then it's on the table as potential therapies. So I think it's going to spread like wildfire. Now we're doing it the right way, the proper way, through clinics and all that. But I feel like there's been hippies doing it since the 70s, and like they could tell you everything you need to know about it. I mean, easy. So, anyways, wait, have we found any seaweed? Sorry, I'm kind of neglecting to. We might have to go find like an ocean. So let's go down this way. Yeah. I mean, worst case, we'll pop out of that kind of bay area. Not Frisco, but talking to somebody, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm from the Bay Area." I'm like, "Oh wow!" First, I've heard that in real life. I mean, you hear it on TV and stuff, but I don't know. There's a lot of people from California here, and I don't care. I mean, I know there's the general attitude like Coloradans don't like Californians moving in, but eh, what is California but Colorado? Another Colorado, or Colorado could be another California. Like they're pretty interchangeable, and I wouldn't even. Probably the only reason that like California kind of it's like Salida and Buena Vista. Like Buena Vista was really the greater one, the better one, but Salida got the county seat, so they got like the headquarters and everything, or the capital. I don't even know what it is, like the town hall for Chafee, but we still beat the crud out of them in football, like 60-0, like all 4 years I was there. So, anyways, sorry, that's a little deep-seated animosity back from the sporting days. All right, is still no seaweed? I mean, because I don't think it's actually like your kelp. Kelp is what we're looking for. And actually, as I say that, that makes sense. We got to go out to like an ocean or sea. Let's go out to the big area. And I did not bring a bed. I don't think it matters. I think we could do this in the dark. Not well. The torch doesn't help. All right. So I don't know. I mean, it's like this one really, really messed up joke. But I love the Boondock Saints. It's a great movie. But I mean, it's a racist joke, and like the two problems are quote unquote solved by this racist. But then it's like, oh well, I'll just have a Coke. Well, that's how I feel about this. Putting this stuff in motion, just like having the right people look at it. I mean, because now we're just trying to solve the problem of like, how do we get people past the nervousness of having their vote recorded, like permanently? I mean, could we just like make sure that it is purged every? We'd still have the vote counts, just like we have currently in the current system, right? So like, trying to think of like, poke any holes that we can, and then fix those holes. Like, find any bugs or flaws with the process. Yeah, you're just losing your ability to remain anonymous with who you voted for. But at the end of the day, like, I'm a registered Democrat. I think they have a good idea who I voted for. I don't think it's going to come as a shocker. Like, and I don't care about that. I've never cared about that. In fact, like, most people, like, they'll have like bumper stickers or something. Like, okay, the government knows who you're voting for then. They could be just walking by or using Google Earth that, scans everything and everywhere. Like, oh, except for the people whose cars are in the garages. So see right there, there's a potential for inequality based on your economic status of being able to afford a garage or not. And sometimes it's not just economic. Sometimes it is opportunity, but that's also a loose result of economic and alcoholic relations. Or, sorry, not relations. That's not the right word for it. Factors. There you go. Of varying magnitude, I guess you could also say. And that, I'm not trying to make that sound like I'm on a high horse. It took me a long time and a lot of drinking to find that. I mean, it took my buddy, he died at 18 from drunk driving. He crashed and killed himself. So, in that right, at that point, I should have been like, oh, dang, maybe I shouldn't do this. I spoke at his funeral too. I'm not trying to disrespect the guy, but like, it's just should have been an eye-opening moment. Jeez, where is kelp? Like, do we need to go even further out in like an ocean? Oh, wait, there we go. I see it. Ooh, is that a shipwreck too? All right, so this is kelp. Big old bunch of it. I don't even need the bone meal, but I'm just trying to trim it. See, I got a little too close. It's okay, it's in peaceful. We'll start getting hurt. Ah, ah. Oh, look at all that. think I got a stack. Yep. Stack and a half, maybe two. All right, so basically what this does is it makes water blocks, like, and you can just build it up. And then, so let's go check out that shipwreck and then we'll head back. Oh, well, that's the alarm. I guess we'll take a look at the shipwreck and then we'll cut this one. But I mean, that's all I really wanted to hop on to say. I think I might actually go and enjoy some Elden Ring, do some more exploring, and again flood your timeline with videos. No, I'm kidding. Ooh, I got carrots now. Yeah. Hmm. It's really hard without light. I really wish I had a bed. Let's see, isn't there one in here? Yes. Ooh, a diamond. Nice. Okay, you got to be careful because I've died to magma blocks going into the captain's quarters. All right, I think that's good. So, ta-ta for now. I'll let you know how it goes with Anonymous. And really, I don't know. I feel like that might be a game stopper or whatever it is, like an unavoidable objection to this system. But if we introduce such a system, I mean, see, I don't know. Because the government already knows everything anyway. I don't think I'd really, I mean, we just have to make it available to be anonymous for the rest of it, but those that don't care can just do it online. There we go. Okay. All right. Anyways, ta-ta for now. I'll see you in the next one.